Okay, hi and hello everybody, it's Fern. Welcome back to another Planty video. So I was thinking about what video I could do that had the excitement of wishlist plants, but wasn't focused around buying wishlist plants, like appreciating what we already have in our collections kind of vibes, which is something that I personally need to practice more. I feel like in this hobby, it's so easy to fall into constantly wanting more plants when perhaps, I mean, I'm speaking for myself here, but perhaps the plants that were once at the top of our wish lists are now not getting as much attention, maybe a little neglected. I really want to focus on appreciating the plants that I have and giving them all of the care and attention that they deserve and getting them to look their best. So I figured that I would do a plant chores video, wish list edition, which is going to be great for a couple of reasons. First of all, I do have some plants here that are a little bit neglected, and also some that are looking really good that just need some regular maintenance, but we're gonna have a chance to work on addressing whatever issues some of them may be having so that they can start thriving a little bit better. And then we're also going to be able to drool over some of the ones that are looking really good that just need some kind of routine stuff. So yeah, I guess just a twist on a plant chores video. I'm gonna try to squash the FOMO and appreciate what we already have in our collections. So I hope that that sounds good to you. I do have a long list of plants that I want to work with today, so I'm gonna try to just fly through them. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plants. I don't know if we'll get to all of them, but I think some of the things that I need to do are pretty quick. So we'll just see how it goes, but I've grabbed the first 3. I have them here with me. So first of all, this is honestly probably the saddest. It might not look that sad. I feel like this plant kind of looks better on camera than it does in real life sometimes. I mean, maybe now she's finally gotten to the point where she's not looking great, but this is my Begonia melanobullata, and this was a plant that I wanted so badly, y'all. Like, for years I wanted this plant, and now I have it, and she does okay, but she dries out so quickly, and then she starts to get crispy, she starts to wilt. I've had this plant be completely wilted over, and then I water it and it perks up, but you do get some of the crispy edges that, you know, obviously that's not ever gonna go back to normal. It's just gonna stay. Yeah, she is looking a little rough, I will say. And I want to just get her to a place where she is thriving, because this is such a cool plant. I love it so much. This is actually a really nice leaf. I think this is the newest one right here. Look at that. Like, oh my goodness. So neat. Now, I feel like these rhizomatous begonias can be very sensitive to underwatering. It's the same with my Begonia polensis. She is a thirsty gal there, and I think, like, I see this one all the time, but even seeing it all the time, sometimes I still underwater it. But this one is in the cabinet, and it's on the bottom level of the cabinet, so I feel like since I'm not seeing it as often as this one, it gets neglected more. I don't know, but I need to probably repot her. And I was also thinking of taking a cutting if, I don't know. I'm gonna have to maybe Google quickly how to propagate this plant, because I don't know if I can take leaf cuttings or not, so maybe I'll try to figure that out. But yeah, I'm gonna gather my supplies, decide what exactly I'm gonna be doing with this plant, and I'll be right back. Okay, backed you up, did some research, and by research I mean watched an Instagram reel. So it seems that you can propagate this begonia multiple ways, which is great news. And the reason that I want to propagate this is because I kind of want to start a new plant over, because this one is just getting kind of, I don't know, do you see that this big vine situation happening here? And it's lost a lot of leaves, it's a little bald. So I kind of just want to start it over and have a nice smaller sized healthy plant. I want to start my polensis over as well, but I'm just scared of messing with that plant. So yeah, but I guess that you could propagate this from leaf cutting or from petiole cutting, allegedly. I don't know. I'm gonna try both and see what happens. So I'm just gonna cut, let's see, I'm gonna take this leaf. Maybe I'll just get some of this browning off here, and I'm gonna just stick this one in water and see if I get roots on the petiole. because I think that that will just be interesting to see. Then we can know how that goes. So that will be our petiole cutting. And then I'll take a different cutting. Oh, that new leaf just looks so good. Okay, I'm gonna take a different new leaf that isn't as nice, but it still looks pretty good. And I saw this crazy method. I'm gonna cut the petiole off. I saw this crazy method where you just cut, like make a cut through the leaf at each vein, and then it's gonna root and baby plants are gonna grow from each of the cuts. I don't know if y'all have seen that before, but my mind was kind of blown because I've never witnessed such a thing. So I thought that we would experiment and try that out, and I'm just gonna lay it on a bed of sphagnum and we'll see if we get little baby plantlets growing up from the wounds. So I just grabbed this little piece of cardboard to cut on. Maybe I'll set up my phone to get a closer angle as well. Oh my gosh, this has gone too far. Do you see what's on my tripod? My tripod. There's a freaking mealybug on my tripod. What are you doing there? The heck? Okay, is that gonna be... Well, we'll get something. That's actually not that great of a... I'll get my other camera. Okay, I'm just gonna be using an X-Acto knife so that we can get really precise cuts. I did just clean this with isopropyl alcohol as well, so it's all sterilized. But I'm just gonna cut on the veins. You can see them really clearly on the back of the leaf. Okay, let's go, let's go. This is like bananas to me. Bananas, I tell you. Cut. 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 I don't know if I'm doing this right, but we'll find out. Cut. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 cuts. Yeah. And we'll see if we get 4 baby plants. You can see, can you see where I've sliced them there? All right, gonna pop it down on the moss here. It like fits perfectly in this little propagation box. Look how cute that is. Like, stop it. That's so stinking cute. And I am just gonna tape it closed to keep the humidity nice and high in here. This is kind of fun. Y'all know I don't propagate a lot, but this kind of thing is fun for me. So I will keep y'all updated on her. Okay, so I have a little prop vessel for this one, and I might cut another one just so that we have a couple to try out. Pop that in, and I'm gonna put this back inside the IKEA greenhouse cabinet. All right, so I've grabbed a pot that we're gonna be transferring this begonia into. It's a couple inches bigger, so hopefully it won't be drying out as fast in this one. I don't have, actually this looks like it will be enough. I was worried when I grabbed this because this is all the begonia mix that I have. Honestly, I don't even know if I have Pro Mix downstairs. I think I maybe do have some still down there to make up some more soil. But let's fill this. I'm mostly just gonna be keeping as much of this soil as I can. I watered my cabinet this morning, but I didn't water this one because I knew I was gonna want to repot it. So let's just pop her in. Also, I think if my propagations are successful, I will be potting them into semi-hydro. because I'm just trying to get things into semi-hydro, especially thirsty plants like this. So that is definitely going to be the plan. So I guess I should talk a little bit about why I wanted these plants and how long I've had them for and stuff. This one I wanted obviously because it's just so weird and spooky looking, which is very up my alley. Also, it's a begonia and I love begonias. Although these rhizomatous ones I do tend to have more problems with, like I said, versus the cane begonias. But I think it's mostly a me problem with keeping up with the watering. Anywho, I wasn't coming across this. I wanted it for years. I wasn't coming across this. And then I received a box full of a bunch of begonias from Chlorophylls last, well, a year and a half ago now, which was so, so nice. And this one was in that box and I was so shook. And it grew really well for me. I had this in the acrobar cabinet for a while. Oh, this leaf just like came off. Okay, the petiole looks a bit dried out. Yeah, it did really well. I tried to grow it in ambient for a bit. Took it out of the acrobar, tried to grow it in ambient for a bit. That did not go well. So I ended up putting it in the greenhouse cabinet and it did okay in there until it started to just not do as well. I probably should have repotted it sooner. But here we are, we're figuring it out. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a journey with this one, but I definitely still really love it. And I want to be more committed to taking better care of it. I feel like I'm always saying this about my plants, but it is just how I feel about a lot of them. Like some, I kind of, you know, some plants you just kind of are over it if it's not going well, but some I am really committed to putting more effort into because they're just really cool. I really love them, and this is one of those plants. I still don't really see these for sale though. I know that I feel like I see Feryx for sale more, which is similar to melanobullata, but they don't have hairs. They have the spikes but no hairs coming out of the spikes. So I really wanted the melanobullata, but the Feryx is really cool also. Okay, so there she is, all sorted out. And I have a drainage tray for her right here. I'm gonna water her through, pop her back in the cabinet. I would love to find a better place to display this plant. Maybe I'll have to move it to the top of the cabinet eventually. I don't know. I would love to have an enclosure just dedicated to this plant. What enclosure would that be? I don't know. I think this is too big for the acrobar, like how big it's grown out now. But if there was some type of case that would fit this plant, I think that that would be really cool. Maybe I'll just remove some of the crispy edges and then we'll put her back. Okay, I'm gonna take her to the sink and I'm gonna water her through with Kelpie because I have some Kelpie water mixed up from this morning, and I'm gonna pop her back in the cabinet and we'll move on to a couple of Hoya that I have here. Okay, moving on to wishlist plant number 2, which is my Hoya argentea princess. I recently featured this in my favorite variegated Hoya video. This falls into the category of wishlist plants where I really wanted them, thought they were stunning, but never really thought that I would have them because they were of such elusive status. But now these have become more available, which is really nice. And somebody sent me this as a cutting, which was just like the nicest Hoya package ever. And it has grown into this adorable little plant. Actually, this leaf is new since y'all have seen her in the last video. The variegation is extra creamy on that one. I feel it's still really soft, and yeah, I love it so much. It's so cute. So what I want to do today is get this potted into an actual pot because she needs to come out of her Tupperware situation here. She needs a real pot. So I'm going to be giving her a clear plastic pot. This is a, it doesn't say, but I would guess that this is a 5-inch, and I'm going to be using my Molly's aeroid mix. Honestly, I use this for Hoyas more than I use it for aeroids at this point, I feel. but they love it. That's what she's already planted in as well, it looks like. Yeah, so we're just gonna carry on with that because she has been super happy. I don't think I'm gonna bother giving her a trellis just yet. She's still pretty small, and yeah, I don't know, just in order to fit her in the cabinet a little while longer, I'll probably just leave her as she is. Boop. Perfect. I was hoping it would all come out as one thing like that. Okay, it already looks so much better just having it in an actual pot. This one also has been drying out really quickly, so it's gonna be nice to have her in a bit of a bigger pot. This one I've only had for less than a year, I think. I got it last fall, and it took a long time to get going, but I think that that's pretty typical of this plant. Now that it's going, it grows pretty steadily. I wouldn't say super fast, but steadily. Like even now, she has an active vine. She has a new leaf, a new baby leaf that's gonna start expanding soon. So she's just stable, and I appreciate that. This was such a popular plant like 2-3 years ago, for good reason, I think, because it is so cool and pretty and silvery. But I love that it is silvery and minty, but you still get variegation. I think that that's what makes this one really special. All right, that was easy. She is done. She has been living just clipped onto the grid of my greenhouse cabinet, so I'm just gonna put her little clip back on. I get asked all the time where these clips are from, and they're just from IKEA. They are the Scadus, like there's Scadus accessories that you can get for the Scadus pegboard, and that's what these are. I don't have the pegboard in my cabinets anymore, but I still use these clips because they work for the grid as well. So yeah, I like that they are just kind of simple, I guess, and they hold on to the pots surprisingly well. So yeah, she is all done, and I'm gonna water her through with Kelpie, just like the begonia that is currently getting watered on the counter. Okay, the next Hoya that I have to work with is Hoya Serpens Silver, and this wasn't necessarily a wish list plant for me. It also does kind of fall into the category of so unattainable that I didn't have it on an actual wish list because I just didn't think that I would ever have it in my collection. Honestly, I should try to propagate this as well to really isolate the silver, the super silvery nodes. The regular green Serpens was a wish list plant for me, a major wish list plant in like, how long have I had that one? I think I got it in 2020 maybe. And that plant is getting pretty big, and it didn't really need any maintenance, so I figured why don't we just go ahead and do the Serpens Silver, because this has been living in this small pot for quite a while now, and it's definitely time to upgrade her. So that's what we're gonna be doing. I've picked out this cute Jomo Studios. Oh my gosh, the curtains are flying again. It's windy out today. This Jomo Studios turquoise pot. This looks kind of big now that I'm looking at it. That kind of makes me nervous. You know what I might do? It's not that big. It is kind of big. I'm scared. Let me see if there's any plants that I can see that need this size of pot, and then I could use the pot that they are in. That's like the same size. I'm looking at my variegated Hoya lacunosa. You know what? I'm just gonna do it. This is a super chunky potting mix, so it should be fine. Maybe I'll take a cutting just in case, but I'm gonna, I guess I don't really need to, well, yeah, I'll take that off. We'll just, yeah, let's just do it. Okay, popping her in. Dun, dun, dun. She's got lots of room now. This is another plant. I feel like it's been growing slowly because this is another plant that just, I mean, it tolerates it really well, but it gets underwatered by me. These are all plants so far that we've done. These are all the plants that we've done so far have come out of the Millsbo tall cabinet. And something about that, I think it's because it gets warm. Like right now, it's 25.1 degrees Celsius and the room temperature is only 24.2. It's always warmer in there than it is just in the house. And it's not even a hot and sunny day today, so it's way warmer when it is hot and sunny. It's overcast and gloomy out today. So just because of the temperature, I think things just dry out like crazy. Honestly, I'd be curious to try this one in Pon or Leca. I think I'm not gonna fill it up super high, just to, maybe I'll add a little bit more, but oh my gosh. George the deer's out there. She's so cute. It looks really cute in here, and I actually have this little snake trellis that I've wanted to put a Hoya Serpens on for like 5 or 6 years now. I've had this for so long. I used to have, what used to be on here? Maybe my Matilde or something like that. I don't remember, but my Hoya Serpens wasn't big enough, and when it got big enough, I guess I just decided to grow it trailing, but this one I could try to use it for. It's not very stable is the only problem. So if anyone has any tips or ideas on how to stabilize this, let me know. Because for now, she's a little, oh, there we go. I pushed her in a little bit better. Okay, that's actually not bad. I'm just gonna kind of weave her into it for now. She's obviously gonna have to grow into this, but I think that it's a cute idea. Hoya Serpens, snake trellis, you know? So that's her. I might move this out of the cabinet as well. We'll see. I'm gonna go water it right now, as well as this one, and then I'm gonna grab the next plants that we're gonna work with. Oh, also this was gifted to me by Natasha just over a year ago now. So I've had this for a full year. Like I said, I feel like I would have seen better growth if I would have been better at watering this, but that's what the point of today's video is, just to get these plants, you know, get them sorted out, because growing this well is gonna be more rewarding than just buying a new plant. So that's what I'm trying to focus my energy on here, and it'll pay off. Okay, next up is my beautiful philodendron Jose Buono. Now this one is doing pretty well. It has gotten too dry maybe once over the past month. Oh, I just dumped water everywhere. Okay, this drainage tray is full of water. Oh my gosh, I just watered it this morning. I guess I didn't look to see the tray. Anywho, luckily this is such an easygoing plant, and he doesn't mind whatever treatment I provide. Okay, so he's looking pretty good. I do have some leaves that I'm gonna remove, like this one down here is looking a little old. Couple small dried bits on the bottom. Okay, I actually thought that there would be more leaves to remove, but he's not looking bad. So this plant I've had for, how long have I had this for? A year and a half, I'm gonna guess, maybe just under that. So I actually got a cutting from Natasha, and then shortly after that, Plant Haven Toronto sent me a whole plant of this. So I ended up combining them at some point, and I have this massive plant with multiple vines growing up. It's so beautiful. I recommend this one all the time if you're looking for a variegated philodendron, because it doesn't revert, which is really nice. And I love the like minty kind of variegation. When the leaves first emerge, it's more creamy, and then it fades down to a mint green. And I just think it's so beautiful. Such an easygoing plant. I really do love this one. So what I have to do for him today is extend the pole, because he's grown over the pole. So it's gonna be super quick because I already have my poles pre-made, which we did in my July reset. So I'm gonna go grab one and then we're gonna stick it on. Okay, I have it right here. It's not wet, unfortunately, but I'm gonna be popping this topper back on top, so it's gonna wick moisture down, and it'll probably be for the best because I think this plant is really wet right now. So I'm just gonna stick this on. This is the older style pole because I still have some of those, of course. I'm just gonna keep reusing what I have. I do prefer the newer style, but these work just fine also. Okay, I think that that is all good. I'm just gonna open up a couple of the... It's always so hard to show when I'm working with poles, like what I'm doing, because it's hard to do in a way where I can see what I'm doing and you can also see what I'm doing. Anywho, I'm just gonna open up some of these little buckles here. Go over here. Okay, and stick this on. Everything seems secure, so he is good to go back onto the wall. Oh wait, I don't think he can go back onto the wall. Oh no. Where am I gonna put this plant? Where in the heck am I gonna put this plant? I think I'm gonna have to swap this one with my philodendron red Anderson. Oh no. I will have to sort that out later. I'm just gonna put this down on the floor for now. But yeah, I'm gonna have to do some swapping around. That's crazy. Can't believe how tall this plant is getting. Honestly, it will be kind of exciting to have him on the floor though. I feel like when I bring them off the wall onto the floor, they're more visible. It's cool having them on the wall, and I will always have plants up there, but it is just a very different kind of view once you bring them down. Okay, so this is my Hoya caudata, which is looking a little bit janky. I mean, she has some nice color on her, but her leaves are just coming out a little... Okay. That was clearly not very stable. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. See, she needs help. She needs help. Yeah, so some of her leaves are just coming out wonky, and I'm just finding that I'm not keeping her, I'm struggling to keep up with watering her. And also, she's just not looking that good. I think that she's in my DIY mix, which is a little dense. So I might pop her into mollies in a different pot, and we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this one, to be honest with y'all. She has so much potential, but I just haven't really cracked the code, I feel. Okay, so I just washed this pot. This is actually the one that we took the Begonia melanobullata out of. It's a 5-inch. And I'm gonna take this Hoya out of here. Oop. Has some pretty big leaves on it, honestly. The pot that it's in is really cute. It's from Solarium. But I just think it would be better suited for maybe a succulent or something, because I just find it hard to keep this. I mean, I say that and it feels really well watered right now. I must have watered it a couple days ago. But it has such a shallow saucer, and I like pairing it with its saucer because it looks so cute matching. But I just find with watering it in place with that saucer, I just never, it ends up getting underwatered. So be better if I gave that to a succulent. Yeah, do not let me pot my Hoyas into this dense potting mix again. So dense. What was I thinking? Fresh, crisp bag of mollies. Okay, so she is in her fresh mollies, which I think is going to be a lot better. Honestly, I'm surprised this plant is as big as she is with that piddly root system in that dense soil mix. Also, I got a comment on one of my last videos of somebody asking why I think that they don't like the DIY mix as much as Molly's, and I think it's purely, or wait, maybe that was about Anthurium. Well, my answer is the same for both of them. I think that it's just an aeration issue. Like the Molly's is so much fluffier and it's a chunkier mix versus my DIY mix, which it is good for a lot of plants, but I'm finding that some of them just need a little bit more oxygenation, maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just some girl on the internet, but anywho, we need to get her on her trellis. And I also didn't even talk about her wishlistness. So this is, like I said, Hoya caudata, but this is silver, not Sumatra, which I just recently learned that apparently they have different blooms, similar, but I think the Sumatra ones are fuzzier, which if I would have known that, I probably would have kept my Sumatra. I would have grown both of them, but this is the one that I currently have. However, the Sumatra, like I didn't even know that there was different types of caudata when I originally had the Hoya caudata Sumatra on my wish list back in the beginning of the plant journey, like 2019 is probably when I got that original one. Anywho, eventually I got this one, the Hoya caudata silver, which is gorgeous. Like it has beautiful leaves, even if they are a little janky. So I got rid of the Sumatra mostly because it just had never bloomed for me. I had it for like 5 years and it never put out any hint of a flower. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna part ways with this one, keep this one instead because I liked the foliage and I thought, you know, maybe this one will be a better bloomer for me, because sometimes it is just the luck of the draw with the genetics of the plant that you get. However, this one has not bloomed for me, but I haven't had it for very long. I got this from Plant Haven Toronto probably a year and a half-ish ago at this point. And yeah, I need to start taking better care of it. So yeah, Hoya caudata in general was just a really big wish list plant for me like years ago. So that's why this one is in this video. Even though this like particular one wasn't a wish list one, I do think that it has the potential to be really outstanding. I really do. So we need to just put in some work to get her there. So what am I even gonna do now that she is, my trellis extension was not very stable. I think these leaves are pretty big and heavy, so I guess I'm not surprised, but I'm just gonna start clipping her on and we'll figure it out. Maybe I will do a little loop-de-loop. Okay, I'm not really sure what's going on here, but I am just going to face this towards the window and hopefully the leaves will all kind of eventually face out. I don't know. Honestly, it does look better. Like, even though the leaves aren't situated yet, because they've just been freshly manipulated like that, it still looks better than it did before, I feel. So yeah, there's Hoya caudata silver. I need a cover pot for this one, which I don't think I have right now. I have been keeping my eye out at the thrift. I've gone thrifting like 4 times this summer and I have not found a single plant pot, so I don't know what that's all about, but I thought maybe I was gonna be able to find some cool cover pots now that I am a thrifting gal, but hasn't happened yet. So I might have to make a trip to HomeSense one of these days. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with that overall. I do need to go grab a tray from downstairs at some point, but hopefully she is gonna be turning a corner. Next on my list is technically Monstera. Could be a good Halloween thing, Monstera. Monstera esqueleto, and she needs some help, let me tell you. So I'm actually gonna move her to be the last plant that I work with today because I need to get the scale off of her and I don't want that to be all contaminating my workspace. So we're gonna move on to Begonia maculata, who was an OG wishlist plant for me. Not this one in particular here. It was a different plant and then I sold it or gave it away when I ended up moving one of the times I moved, and I really missed having it in my collection, so I ended up getting it again. But I will never forget getting my first Begonia maculata. It was like code green for the plant people because they came into Lowe's, and I remember it was nighttime, like bedtime, probably 8:30 p.m. and it was posted in the plant Facebook group that they had some in, and people were just running out to Lowe's. So my boyfriend went and got me one because I was in bed. Those were crazy times. It is crazy to think of plants being like that. Like now, I was at Canadian Tire the other day, which y'all will see in next week, I think is gonna be when my plant vlog for this week is going up. But there were so many good plants there. I couldn't believe it. Alocasia cuprea, philodendron pink princess, philodendron white knight, alocasia dragon scale, green and silver, different Hoya australis lisa, like I've been saying. And I know that those have been in big box stores for a while, but it still blows my mind because I don't go plant shopping out in the wild very often. So anytime I am somewhere and I see the plants that are being sold, it's always just crazy to me because I remember the days when it was not like that. Okay, I have got my twine and my clips. I usually mostly use twine for my begonias like this. Also, it's getting kind of bright. Sorry if the lighting is weird. This plant just needs to be cleaned up. It has a lot of, well, I've actually removed some of them already the other day, but it still has some yellowing leaves on it that I just want to get rid of, and I might give her a trim. I don't know, I feel like she is due for a trim, and she also is just kind of growing crazy. She's in bloom right now, which is really cute, if you can see that, her little flowers. But yeah, she's just crazy, so I need to, I don't know, just get her sorted because she's just kind of splaying out everywhere and she has crispy leaves, and yeah, so I'm just gonna remove, those ones are fine. Actually not bad. I think I removed most of them the other day. Da-na-na. Here's one. Yeah, this one's pretty bad. But the rest can probably stay. I mean, this, I don't know. Some of them are like, maybe they could stay on for a little bit longer, but they don't look great. I'm just gonna remove this. Whatever. Okay, so these branches that are just coming out a lot, I'm gonna bring in and add to the trellis. So I'm just gonna use my twine. I know, you probably cannot see anything that I'm doing, but we're just gonna make this quick. Whoops. I think I'm gonna remove this leaf from the very bottom as well. That one can stay. Okay, so I think that I have her all kind of staked up, and now I'm just debating giving her a trim. I probably should, and then I think that that will encourage some more growth lower on the plant. So I'm gonna trim. Let me look at her. This is hard because I know she's not going to be looking good for a while once I trim her, but it is worth it in the long run. So I think I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to do too dramatic of a trim. I'll just take, oh, they're so pretty though. Like those big leaves on the top. Stunning. I am just going to, boop. Wow. So gorgeous. I know that this plant is so common now, but it's just, I don't know, it's just so unique and special to me. So definitely gonna leave that until the flowers are done. Oh, that new leaf looks crispy anyways, so give that a chop-a-roo. Boom. Once you get going, it's kind of hard to stop. I think that'll be good. I'll leave a couple taller canes in the back. Yeah, this plant is looking a little chaotic because it gets light from both sides, since this calyx shelf that it sits on is in the middle of the room, and then there's a window in front and behind it. Anyways, I think that's gonna be good for now. It is good in this pot. It's just a matter of me not being behind on watering. Although maybe I should root cutting so that I can put this into leca. Not me trying to put everything into leca, but I feel like that could be a good move for this one. I think that I will do that actually. Keep a couple of these cuttings. All right, I'm gonna fill this up with water and we'll see how these root up for me. I mean, they're gonna root up great. I already know this because I've propagated this plant multiple times before. Okay, I have 25 minutes left on this memory card. Will I be able to finish the rest of my plant chores in 25 minutes? Probably not, but we're gonna try. Okay, so I'm holding my variegated Thanksgiving cactus. She is beautiful, perfect, stunning. This was one of my top wish list plants because I love just any kind of holiday cactus, like the regular green ones. Having a green Thanksgiving cactus and seeing it bloom was one of the experiences and one of the plants that contributed to me being interested in houseplants. I was so charmed by my first Thanksgiving cactus. So of course I wanted to get the variegated version because it's a special plant to me in that sentimental way, but I just think that they are cool, stunning houseplants. However, mine is just in this old DIY mix that, again, it's just not the best substrate for it. So I am just gonna switch it out, and what I'm actually gonna be switching it into is I'm thinking of doing the Molly's orchid mix because I've had good experience growing jungle cactus in, or at least rooting, but they seem to grow really well in it. That's what I have I think that's what I have my fern leaf cactus in right now, and it's pushing out new growth like crazy and really getting established. So they seem to like it, I've noticed. So I think I'm gonna go for that. I was gonna do just the cactus and succulent mix, but I think that that's a little too rocky for this plant. So, oh my gosh, it's gonna fall over. I think the orchid mix is gonna be a good kind of in-between potting mix. I think it's gonna be perfect for this plant. Okay, these leaves, they need to go. Yeah, so this is a rocky mix, but it also has, is that coconut husk? Yeah, coconut husk chips, and I think that that is what I've noticed these jungle cacti really liking, and some other things as well. So yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this one. I'm just gonna be keeping it in the same pot, literally just switching out the substrate. I'm gonna collect this soil that I have here and just use it for some of my outdoor plants. All right, I have not seen this plant's roots in a long time. So, oh, I forgot we were on a time crunch. Okay, let's hurry it up. Let's hope that they're healthy looking. Okay, they're all sticking together like that, so that's always a good sign. Honestly, the potting, well, it is pretty dense actually. It is pretty dense. Oh my gosh. Why? I was really on a thing of putting all my plants in such a dense mix. My plants that didn't need to be in a dense mix, like why? Get as much off as I can. Why is this so high? Maybe I will get this off with the camera not recording so we're not wasting space. Okay, I just washed this out. It's all fresh and clean. And we're gonna fill it up with our new substrate here. I got off as much as I could. I'll show you the roots in a second. There is still some soil on the roots, but I just didn't want to get too crazy with it. And I think that that will be just fine. It's crazy. This plant is actually getting like quite woody at the top here because it's starting to mature. I've had it for a while, honestly. Well, no, that's pretty good. This plant I've had for probably around 3. It's like 3 years already. I think it's coming up to 3 years, or maybe 2.5 years that I've had it. You can see it's pretty big, and I've taken some cuttings from it. I sent Brandon from philodendron a baby from this plant, so I'm really excited to see it grown in his care. It's a really nice one as well. It's like so minty looking and pretty. So yeah, I'm really excited to see him grow that out. I got this in a trade, and it was such an incredible, just crazy to me that I was able to get this because I had been keeping my eye out for it and searching for it for years. And then I got it in a trade, and now they're more available. They're not like super common, but I've definitely seen them pop up on online plant shops over the past year or so. So you can find them now, which is nice because they're just such a pretty plant. And mine does flower for me. She flowered for me twice this year. Yeah, she flowers in the like fall, and then she also flowers again in the spring, or at least that is what she has been doing. So that has been very stunning. Bright pink flowers on her, which I love. I am excited to see, I have a Christmas and Easter cactus that I have growing in the window, and they were cuttings, but now they're established. So I think that I might see blooms on them this, well, I'm assuming the Christmas one blooms around Christmas. Does it not? So maybe I will see blooms on that one then, and then in the spring on the Easter cactus. Okay, I think she is all situated in there. She is quite heavy, so like her branches are heavy, so I have some little stones that I keep on here usually. Keep her from popping out of there, and then I keep her in this heavy ceramic pot right here that I think I just got that from IKEA. But yeah, I don't think I have anything else to do with her today. I just wanted to get her, this is really interesting. This branch, it was like mostly green. I don't know if you would see, but maybe this way. It was mostly green, and then it gradually became more variegated, half moon, and then boom, all white. Really interesting to watch the variegation patterns. Okay, all done. Gorgeous, stunning. I'll water that one through later. Next on our list is Monstera albo. Now this is, I was just posting this plant on Instagram saying that it is the Monstera albo of my dreams, and it is. I feel so lucky to have this type of variegation, like this level of variegation, and the mixture of marbled and sectoral. It's just so perfect, and I actually got this in a trade. The same person that gave me the variegated Thanksgiving. I've gotten so many amazing plants from her. And this is also growing in leca, which is crazy. This gave me, or it's helping to give me the confidence to try more plants in leca because this one is doing so amazing. We even have a new leaf right there unfurling right now. But what I need to do for this plant is extend the pole because she is at the tippy top. So let's go ahead and do that. Another really quick task because I just have to go grab a pole. Okay, here's my pole. This is the newer style of moss poles from Russo. So it has the like this little bottom section open. There's no straps here, so it just slides in and then lines up with the pole I'm gonna be putting it on top of really nicely. It sucks that I don't have any more of the dark rainforest green ones. right now, but that's okay. All right, perfect. That was the quickest task yet. This plant I've had for a year and a half. I don't know. I can't even keep track of these plants anymore, you guys. But I feel like not super long, and it's just, I don't know, she just looks so good. I'm gonna put her little cup in the top, and I'm probably gonna put some water through here as well, because it's crispy dry from sitting in the closet, this moss pole. Anywho, this plant is my current obsession, so please admire her with me. Stunning. All right, I'm gonna go put her back, but thank you for loving on her. Okay, another one of my ultimate wish list plant. This one and the Variegated Thanksgiving were probably like my top wish list plants. The wish list of all wish lists. However, I just took this out of the cabinet because I moved this into the cabinet yesterday, and I don't know what the heck is going on, but do you see the browning on that leaf? Okay, so this is what I did. Let me sit down. Yesterday, I was rearranging things around, and I decided to move this variegated silver sword from the windowsill into the cabinet because I thought it would be fine. It's getting a little bit taller, so I was like, it's gonna be closer to the grow light in there. It's gonna be fine. So I did that. I moved it into the cabinet, but I also removed all of the browning leaves on the bottom of the stem. Do you see how it's like a tree? It's just a naked stem with the leaves on the top. So something with those two things that I did, and suddenly I'm getting this browning, because I think I would have noticed if this browning was happening yesterday. That is a really highly variegated leaf, so I guess I'm not surprised, but I don't know, that still just kind of sucks. So I'm hoping that this is not going to be a Monstera aurea situation. Like, I'm really hoping. If any of y'all have variegated silver sword, let me know what your experience has been. I need some help. So also, this is really filled, like probably too much with water. Thought maybe this was stuck, but yeah, maybe it's too wet. I think I watered the moss pole when I maybe shouldn't have, and the water like came down into the pot. So maybe it's too much water. I don't know, but regardless, that's not really, doesn't have anything to do with what I'm doing today. I'm just adding a moss pole extension. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly build it off camera because I don't have any of these black ones ready to go. This is the only plant in my collection that has this black moss pole from Houseplant Essentials. The rest of my plants are on Rousseau poles, but I just really liked the contrast of the black with these minty variegated leaves. So yeah, but anyways, I'll go build that and then we will pop it on. Okay, so I've just folded this pole together. It's just the type that has little, not clasps, little slot thingies, buckles, I don't know, in the back. I'm just gonna slide this. Actually, do I need to add a little? Nah, actually it should be fine because I'm gonna just, okay, ignore me. I'm just talking to myself here. Does it go? Yeah, okay, I guess it goes inside. I think that is pretty good. I'm just gonna fill it up with moss. Ooh, this is such a narrow moss pole compared to my, I mean, it has different sizing, like there's different levels. So this one is on the medium setting, but it could go even wider to be larger, or it could go even smaller, which it is kind of nice that there's options. Oh my god, you guys, it's definitely way overwatered. I can literally see the water in here. You're not gonna be able to see on camera, I don't think, but I don't know if I've ever accidentally filled one of these self-watering pots up this high, but it's not good. It's not good. Okay, I just dumped out a lot of water and it is still like over the max line. So, okay. This is probably the worst plant that I could have done that to because it's so sensitive to getting edema and browning. What a bummer, but I guess you live and you learn. Also, I don't know why I put it in the cabinet yesterday because now it's gonna have to come out of the cabinet again because the pole isn't gonna fit anymore, so I need to come up with a different spot for it. It was enjoying just being in my south window, so probably put it back there. Okay, that should be grand. All right, we are still kind of figuring things out with this plant, but I mean, it's been growing so well for me lately. Like, do you see how much the leaf size has increased? I mean, you can't see anymore how small the leaves were down there because I cut them off, but this is really good progress for this plant. So I'm hoping that I continue to figure this out. Yeah, at least we're on top of the pole extension. This is pretty impressive when I manage to extend a pole before the plant reaches the top. Usually they're getting overgrown by the time I get to them. So I guess it was good that I was doing this wish list video today. I was gonna try to clip this on to keep the vine centered. I think I'll do that. All right. Gonna go, I don't even know where I'm gonna put him. I just had to delete a few minutes of footage because I only had 7 minutes left and that was not gonna cut it for this, I don't think. So we are finally addressing my Monstera esqueleto. Oh, also, I forgot to say the silver sword. I've had that for almost exactly 1 year now, I think. I got it from Aya's Tropical Plants, I think they're called, a plant shop in Quebec. I can link in the description. I can link all the shops that these plants came from in the description, but oh my goodness. Oh, I thought one of my lacewing larvae was there, but it's not. It's just like a weird dried bit. So this Monstera esqueleto, I don't know why I have been just neglecting taking care of this plant for so long. I think it's because it has scale and that's just very annoying to me to remove and to deal with. But this was a really big wishlist plant for me a few years ago, and Charmaine ended up sending me a cutting, Charmaine from Unplanned Parenthood, which was just like the nicest thing ever. I was so happy to finally get this plant, which is why we need to get her back thriving, because I have had this plant looking so amazing and I miss having that. Like when I look back on videos of when she was climbing her pole, thriving, just gorgeous. I wanted this Monstera because I love Monstera adansonii, and this is basically a Monstera adansonii on steroids. And this way I could grow a nice trailing adansonii, but then have a climbing philodendron that had a similar kind of look with the holy leaves, because I didn't really want to grow my adansonii climbing. So this way I can kind of have both styles of growth. And yeah, so I'll show you the scale situation. I did clean it a while ago, but I just didn't get all of it. There's still a lot on here. Let me show you a spot where there's a lot of it right here. They love to go in like the crevices of leaves like this. See how it's like following along the vein, and it makes it even harder to get out. I'm lucky that this hasn't spread to other plants. There's an ant on here as well. I'm having an ant issue. But yeah, the scale is mostly just obsessed with this esqueleto. So I think what I'm gonna do is grab a cloth and grab some isopropyl alcohol. Last time I did this, I was using alcohol swabs, but it did not go very far because we have a lot of leaf to cover and alcohol swabs are very small. So I think I'm just gonna get a cloth and a damp cloth, isopropyl alcohol, and we will try to just remove as much as possible that way. And then I will spray this with a, actually I'm not gonna spray it because I do have beneficials right now and I wouldn't want them to be harmed. So I think we will just manually remove the scale, and then I will have to just kind of keep an eye. Those mealybug destroyers, which did not destroy mealybugs, were supposed to eat scale as well, and they did not eat any scale. In fact, they would not even stay on this plant, so that was a bit of a fail. So this is a really gritty, textured kind of cloth, which is exactly what I want to try to grip these little guys off. Okay. See how well, oh yeah, this cloth gets right in there. Okay, that is actually grand. Do ants eat scale or have like a symbiotic relationship with scale? Yeah, I know that ants and mealybugs have some type of relationship, but what about ants and scale? Because I feel like they do. 'Cause I've seen ants around here. I'm sure you won't be surprised, but I think that I am gonna put this plant into leca. I'm gonna have to stop at IKEA again next time I'm in Vancouver and get some leca because I'm going through it, y'all. I am really going through it. I did consider starting this plant over from wet sticks and just rooting wet sticks and regrowing it out that way, but I don't know, I was just having such a hard time parting with these big beautiful leaves. So I'm glad that we are cleaning her up today. Yeah, this gritty cloth, this is the best thing I've used so far. Look at all the scale coming off. It's disgusting, but it's working really well. So if you have a plant that is infested with scale like this, gritty cloth, microfiber, it's not gonna do the trick. It needs to be this type of cloth. This is a tough plant for just like surviving, not only being neglected for so long. It was also bone dry at one point. I think I remember telling y'all at one point, and I thought that maybe the roots were gonna be goners, but I filled up the water and she lives on. So yeah, plus she's had this scale, like this plant is very, very hardy. Okay, I'm gonna finish cleaning her off and then I will hop back on when I'm gonna pot her up into leca. That took me so long, my fingers are pruny. Okay, I swear I have a large self-watering pot somewhere, but I cannot find it right now. So what I'm gonna do is pot the esqueleto back into this glass container, which is like a nice glass jar, in leca with a moss pole, and then I guess eventually one day I will repot it out of here. I don't know. But that is what I have to use for now. So we are gonna use this. Let's start filling it up with a leca and get her all situated. She really deserves it. It's been such a patient plant. There's her roots. Healthy, surprisingly. Oh, maybe one is rotted, but for the most part, they're pretty good. Maybe I'll just remove this rotted one. I'm gonna try to keep her in position here. I want her nodes obviously facing the moss pole and her leaves facing out. That looks good to me. Okay, y'all, she is potted up in here. This actually looks really cool, so I hope this setup works out for her, at least for a while. Yeah, I just have to fill it up. I think I'm gonna use Super Thrive water to fill it up, as I do. Other than that, I don't know. We'll just wait and see. I'm gonna have to keep treating her for scale, keep removing scale as I see it, like I said, but I think that she's in a way better place than she was at the beginning of this video. Okay, y'all, I just filled this up with Super Thrive water and she's done. Thank goodness. Wow, this has really been haunting me for a while, so I'm so glad that we got that done. I actually feel like we got so much done today. I did not think that we were gonna get through every single plant on my list, but we did, which is amazing. Now it is time for me to go. I need to get this mess cleaned up and then I'm gonna start making dinner. But I had so much fun working with these plants today. I really hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you tuning in for these planty videos. Leave me a comment down below. I would love to chat and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.